Okay, so I'm starting to feel like my reviews can be narrowed down to the question, is it a chore simulator or a roguelite? Chore simulator. PowerWash Simulator is a chore simulator. What is it that makes power washing so enjoyable, to the point that people watch videos of others doing it, or that one of the biggest subreddits exists because of it? I remember seeing PowerWash Simulator floating around in either its alpha or beta form, and I wondered if there was a market for the game. It seemed like a gimmick or a novelty that might be fun for a few hours, but would quickly become boring and repetitive. Well, as I approached 40 hours into it, I can say it was neither. While I think the name is self-explanatory, PowerWash Simulator has you starting your own business cleaning and restoring a gamut of different objects. From the humble beginnings cleaning off vehicles, to carnival equipment, to entire buildings. There are some light RPG upgrades to be bought, like more powerful washers, more attachments, and specialized consumable cleaning solutions, but the game is pretty straightforward from there. Dirt levels largely start off pretty light, where rinsing the object will be effective enough to remove most of the buildup. But as you progress, the grime will get heavier, and more specialized forms of gunk will appear, requiring more effective equipment to remove. While it would be easy here to draw allegory for the perpetual arms race of mankind versus nature, maybe a game about pressure washing is best kept at face value. Still, there was a weird inner conflict deciding which nozzle width was most effective for the task, and whether slower movement with larger surface area coverage was better than fast and focused but more passes. Is it overthinking? Absolutely. But I promise you there was practical reasoning I will come back to later. Keeping this game from getting stale is all the goofy ideas the makers came up with to clean. A carousel? An 1800s big wheel bike? A UFO? I almost feel like they had a brainstorming session for ideas of what to clean, and then at the end said, surprise, all ideas will be implemented. And while I'm having a hard time nailing down an absolute favorite, I really like the skate park and the playground. Then there was the 3D nature of the objects. While cleaning a surface is largely straightforward, what about when there is a ledge? Or seams? What about just a post? You will have to think about different angles when cleaning to get all of the dirt off of objects. This, combined with the different levels of crud needing cleaned, leads to a low-stakes problem-solving aspect to the game that is much more rewarding than expected. And, as Pavlovian as it is, the flash and cash ding from finishing an object really is begrudgingly satisfying. Even though the task isn't necessarily difficult, there is also a sense of pride after finishing a job. I do have some complaints with this game though. There is a button to see dirt easier, which causes the dirt to flash orange. While this is pretty useful overall, it would be nice to be able to customize the color to make it stick out more. Also, there were times when the object I was cleaning would be at like 99.9% cleaned, and I wouldn't be able to see where I missed, and basically have to re-clean the entire object to find whatever was left on it. This could be really annoying when cleaning something big, like an entire floor. And this is where the nozzle choice I talked about earlier came into play so much, because if I used too wide of a nozzle, and tried cleaning too fast, I wouldn't be able to tell until I thought I was done, and needed to find the missing spots. There also seems to be a bug loading into a level you already started, where you won't be able to use the highlight dirt button. Loading a new level and coming back to the one played would normally fix the problem, but it was still an inconvenience. There is also a lack of background music, which while wasn't the biggest deal for me, as I listen to other things while playing games like this, now means I am going to have to look somewhere else for background music for this video. And this might just be unique to me, because of my experience with pressure washers. But the mouse doesn't allow the real-world articulation that I was accustomed to. While the game makers did try to address the problem with the aim mode, I am still used to being able to move the entire gun, not just the nozzle. And not having the shoulder, hip, and independent hand motions was something I still missed even into the last level. But while I criticize this, I don't have a good fix to the problem, outside of maybe VR-style controls. PowerWash Simulator ended up being one of those games I couldn't stop playing. Do you ever come across a TV series or a game that just becomes habitual, and you are sad when you finished it? This is what PowerWash Simulator was for me, even if my time spent with it was just over the course of about a week. Having said that, I'd have a weird hesitancy where I would finish a level, and question if I even wanted to put in the effort of starting the next one, thinking about how long it would take to complete. Then convince myself to start it and that I could quit if I was getting burnt out. Then getting those first few little Vegas-style flash ding dopamine spikes from pieces completed, carrying me forward into my next bump, to swelling with pride, watching the snapshot replay at the end of the level, showing off everything I completed. And then it would start all over again with the next level. If you like chore simulators, then PowerWash Simulator is a winner. The amount of work that needs done will claim a large amount of your time, while being broken into small enough pieces to keep momentum towards completing tasks. And there is enough subtle humor Easter eggs to know the makers had fun with the game too. Thanks for watching.